We are here with Su Yen, and I mean, this is going to be a long conversation because of all the couple. So number one, everybody at this point, I think, like at least in Newcastle County, has heard about the reggae in the park, the huge success of the second year. First year we heard about it, but like it seems like the second year just blew up. So, and on top of that, my daughter, I posted videos of her running. This is the person who started the team that my daughter is on, Delaware Elite. So, welcome, Su Yen.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess let's start with
Reggae in the Park.
Reggae in the Park, and how did that all come together? Like, how did year one come together?
Okay, so year one. Oh, sorry. Year one. Matt Myers is a huge supporter of Delaware Elite Track Club and just youth in general. And so I came to him. We've had a history together, so I came to him and said, listen, there was another festival that happened in the park called the Latin Food Festival, and I said, what about bringing a reggae festival to Glasgow Park? Like, reggae music is love, unity. So I said, let's do something like that. So he was with it, 100%. He's really for community, and he was like, whatever you need, we'll get it. Let's start planning for it. Yeah. So we planned for it. We didn't really know what we were doing. I know there was other festivals, but, I'm from Jamaica. I've been to festivals all over the world. And I said, I put together a small team. My brother Chin came on board. He's the MC, DJ.
Oh, wow.
And so we put our team together, and we basically, in a few short months, put a Facebook ad out, Instagram ad, and said, listen, we're having reggae in the park. We got Wayne Wonder, the headliner.
Yeah.
Chin is a good friend of
How did
Wayne
you
Wonder.
manage that? Oh,
Chin is a good friend of it, and he
Okay.
used to work with him back in the past. So he called him up and say, hey, would you come to Delaware? Wayne was like, of course. We put it out there, and the response was overwhelming.
Everybody and their mama.
Everybody and their mom came out the bushes, everywhere, and we quickly had 20,000 people inside of Glasgow Park.
Oh my
And
God.
how is that like?
I mean, Glasgow Park is huge.
But to see 20,000 people turn out for something you put together has got to be wild, right?
It was wild.
Were you blown away? Like, did it hit you in that moment? Like, oh, we have a problem, but a good problem.
Yes.
I have gotten too high off the marijuana.
When Newcastle County Police is like, we need to talk, then we know we have.
Yeah, you're right. You get a good problem,
They
right?
said,
Hey,
"Good
hey,
problem." And they showed us the highway, and 40 was backed up on both sides in both directions. So
Wow.
then, yeah.
When was
so
this last year?
At it was June 17th.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
That's amazing.
That is amazing, especially in that area.
Yes.
Because, people go out there for birthday parties. They go to walk the track. But to know, like, that's at the Glasgow Park that my mom walks at every Saturday.
Yeah.
There's a reggae festival there filled with 20,000 people.
And Delaware Elite trains there too.
Yeah,
right?
we train there, right? So, I mean, I'm like
They should name it after her now.
Right.
I'll take that.
Suyin Park.
So I'm a visionary, and I felt like I would stand there and look at that space. Like, we could do so much in this space. So, and then it just came to fruition. And I can't thank Matt enough for believing in this dream of mine and just being 100% supportive of it,
So, aside from the fact that you're Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
right? What about reggae speaks to you?
Reggae music is about love and unity. It brings communities together. It's one of those music genres that transcends against all cultures, no matter your race, everything. I mean, it's one of the most popular music genres in the world. And obviously with Delaware being the home of Bob Marley, the American home of Bob Marley, we wanted to capitalize on that. I know they have a festival in Wilmington, but nothing's ever done in the county. Everything's kind of Wilmington based.
Yeah.
And I live in the county, so what better opportunity to bring my culture to Newcastle County.
And so to that point, I think what's most impressive about that from my end is, like you said, number one, there is a tribute to sort of Bob Marley festival here in the city specifically, and it has a good draw, but it's been around for a long time. So what is, I mean, you don't got to give away the secret recipe, but like just kind of how do you think you were able to get that many people to come out just year one,
I think that we just really looked at the overall canvas of it and said, like, what would draw people? The music, the food. Everybody loves Caribbean food.
Yeah.
So that was a big draw for us. We wanted as many Caribbean vendors as we could, craft vendors, food vendors, everybody. So we knew that alone would bring the people, is to have a huge variety. Trini Cuisine came all the way from Dover. So bringing the food would bring the people. And then when you add Wayne Wonder to the mix, then it's just,
Right.
Okay, so
It's a
good
wow
food
effect.
and Wayne Wonder, that's it.
There it is.
How did you pick your artists?
So that was, we had so many people throw different artists, and we kind of looked at, Chin's been DJing for a long time, and he's really popular in Philadelphia and Delaware, and we looked at it like, okay, what type of genre does Delaware know? You know, Delaware's not really big on dance hall. Like, I'm not saying that we don't have it, but, you know, we were looking at artists that kind of are crossover artists that played on the radio here that people know, American people know. So we wanted to kind of introduce that and go into the 90s and 2000s. So we figured that artists like that would bring a lot of people out because they're familiar with it.
Okay. Now, for the people who weren't there and haven't heard of it before, can you give us the breakdown of the day?
Okay, so we extended it. Last year was 2 to 7. We realized that most of the people spent majority of that time parking.
That's a warm up to the wind, okay? That's just the warm up to the wind. I need
Tailgate
to
park.
actually
That's
wind.
tailgating.
They were trying to get in the park. So we extended it from 12 to 7 this year. So we opened up with DJs because us West Indians, that's the biggest thing is our DJs. So opened it up with live music, and then we started performers like about 1:30. So we had a drummer from Brazil, Sambuca, he did some capoeira, and then after that we had Kenny Vanilla, he's a local,
we know him.
He's a local artist. We had Kaya Soul.
Yep.
I love them.
We had
I love
Jahidi.
them. Yes.
Yeah.
Who?
Family.
Who? No, we love Jahidi.
Jahidi is family.
Jahidi's family, he's a must. You know, and then we had I Rhythm from DC. They came down.
Okay.
And then after that was Serrani. So everybody knew he's one of our crossover. It's Serrani. Nice. So we brought him
Who the
this
memories,
year,
child?
and I think Serrani was shocked when he came out and saw the crowd. So he was humbled by the crowd too. So
awesome.
he and he never heard of Delaware before this.
And
So
I'm not mad at that, you know?
Delaware's definitely on the map for him. He's like, bring
So-
me back anytime.
Year one is a success.
Yeah.
Now you're like, so now you're like, whoa, what just happened, right?
Right.
So how do you approach year two?
Yeah. So we're planning from now.
Right.
Yeah. So much more planning. We always our team. Keenan's here. We brought Keenan on this year from Delaware Events, and he was instrumental in reaching the people and getting the message out about reggae in the park. So we plan from now. We know that we need a bigger stage.
Oh, okay.
We realized our circle, when we were planning this, the circle of vendors was over a mile radius of vendors. We had 110 vendors, you know, so
We just lined the park.
we lined it
Yeah.
in a big circle. That
That was
oval
your
area,
security gate.
Just the oval area. We didn't even reach the other side of the park.
Right.
We just did the oval area, and then so we're planning from now with stage and, volunteers, staff, working with the county on different aspects. Newcastle County Police, I have to shout them out.
No.
Lieutenant Dolan and Major Feldman, Lieutenant Dolan and Major Feldman, this wouldn't have happened without them.
Great.
Their planning and just the way they executed everything was top tier.
It's actually really encouraging to hear that you had great cooperation with law enforcement
Yes.
because we've heard of situations where that isn't the case.
Yes.
And for you to be able to shout them out is a huge deal. It's probably a kudos to your communication skills and kudos to the department. So
Yes. We are huge fans of both of theirs. Without them, it just wouldn't have been possible. I mean, from Del Dot, the shuttle services, everything that transpired to make this event a success. Not one fight, not one incident. Everybody was love and unity to have that many people. And that's what the community was a little bit afraid. Like, how do you get that many people in one area and they behave themselves, right?
But, you go ahead.
So, I'm not sure how this question is going to come out, but
Here she go. No, it's fine.
no. So we have the Clifford Brown Jazz Festival. Clifford Brown, rich history in Wilmington, East Side, and this is 37 years in the making. We had Bob Marley, Delaware home. You did the Reggae Festival. So coming here, what have you noticed about the Clifford Brown Jazz Festival in comparison to the Reggae Festival?
I've noticed that people are dedicated to being this heat.
Word. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, just everybody unified in the same way
Yeah.
over music,
Yeah.
over the love of music.
So
you
what
know?
does that tell y'all?
And,
Yes.
and to the point that you were saying about how did you keep, and I hate to kind of, I'm a child of hip hop music, okay?
Yes.
So I'm a 90s hip hop kid. Like, okay, so if I knock hip hop music, I'm knocking myself. But you can't help but recognize that, like, you asked the question, how do we keep everyone so peaceful and calm? Like, you're listening to this jazz music, soul, reggae music. Like, ain't nobody fighting the reggae music. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
it's not happening. It's just-
exactly.
the vibe is not that,
It's
you know,
not
ever.
that. It's not that. Yeah. So we were just humbled,
Yeah.
humbled by the response. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, no, I want to wait because I know you have one too. Just hold tight. Yeah, because I don't want to take over the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the track.
Okay.
Okay.
So where did that idea come from? Because
15 years ago?
we go
Yeah,
from
15
just the
years
fact that we have track and we have reggae, and I'm like, okay, so where are we going here? I like
Jamaica,
this.
reggae track,
Yeah.
right? I ran track. I'm not going to toot I wasn't great, but you know, one of my best friends, Dane Ross, we grew up together and we ran together when we were.
I love him.
Yes.
He's hysterical.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Everybody who knows Dane knows,
I
like.
just met him. Okay, sorry, but so my wife comes home and she's like, Ray just met Coach Dane.
Yeah.
She's like, you have to meet Coach Dane. He's the funniest. And I was
He
like,
is.
okay. And it's like, literally, I was like, oh, that's got to be him when I saw him because he's hysterical.
Yeah,
So,
not just because he's my partner, but he's just one of the best track coaches I've ever met. The way that he can connect with children, and then he was a 15-time All-American in track and field. Yes, he has multiple records in Delaware. So I ran sprinter.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's in the Delaware Hall of Fame. Yeah, so.
You know, if you cracking jokes, you gotta be fast.
Right,
So-
exactly.
so-
Yeah, so he gets that all day. So, you know, I ran track with him. I wasn't as great as he was, but like our collaborative efforts, like me with the business side of things and him with the coaching, we came together and we started off with 10 kids at Newark High School, and you know, 2 of them being my own, so I don't even know if that really counts. And then and then from there, the community just kept coming. 10 turned to 20, to 40, then 50. Then we realized we need additional spots. We were the first team to go across the state. So we have a location in Wilmington, Newark, Smyrna, and Dover. And at one
Wow.
point, we were in Sussex, too.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were the first team to ever be statewide.
Okay, so you clearly have a certain gift. And I...
Don't you take my question.
No, you got it then. That's why I'm trying to be cool. Go ahead. That's why I'm going to shut up.
Sometimes we be in sync, and that's when the moments I'm like, wait a minute now.
Don't steal my thing.
Don't steal. What I'm noticing is the community aspect. And we've had a lot of conversations about community over the last couple days. And I've noticed that you are so in tune with the community, and not just the needs, but also how to nurture. Where does that come from?
I'm an RN by trade. So I was a huge community health nurse, and that's just always been, I worked at St. Francis for years, and then I did a little bit with Christiana, and then I started doing travel nursing, so I started traveling all over. But community has always been my passion. So I've worked with all types of demographics, and I just knew what was needed in the community. You know, there's a lot of times people have poor health outcomes or poor financial outcomes because there's nothing for them to do, and they don't feel like they belong to anything, or they're isolated at home. So community has been a big thing of mine, big passion of mine.
I love that you said that, that poor health can be because there's nothing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Track.
Right.
My goodness, that right there in itself, if you don't have anything to do and you're depressed and you're sitting around, you're gonna be sick. You're not gonna feel well.
Right.
But when you have a community of events and people and groups you can go and be with,
If you give somebody good food, if you run and listen to reggae music,
There you go.
how are you? I mean,
so
that's the cure.
so let me tell y'all this right now. Right now, you wanna get your health up? You gonna go to track on Wednesdays.
Get you some good oxtail.
Exactly.
You know what
You
I'm
gonna go
saying?
to the Reggae Festival and the Clifford Brown Festival, because you're gonna be your healthiest them days.
One love
Exactly.
medicine, yeah.
Right. This is a problem. I can see this is gonna be a problem. And there's a gentleman
And I'm gonna
behind
run with it.
Yes.
he ruined it.
That was terrible.
He ruined it.
Horrible joke. I shouldn't have said it.
There is a gentleman on the other side of the camera who I really think should show his face because he's a pivotal part of this, and I think you
Brought me
should.
to this chair because I was just here for some food.
Oh, you was only here for food?
Yes.
Oh, I can't even deal. He got her, y'all.
He got me.
Slide down as much as you can.
Yeah. Hello, good brother.
Here you go.
Oh man, I can't believe
Can you
this is
see it?
happening.
Giggling the whole time, but go ahead.
Oh man, what do I do? And
So
what do I say?
introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I am Keenan. I go by Itachi. I am Keenan Jones. I go by Itachi Hokage. I do a lot. I am Vice National Director of Black Wall Street USA IT Council. I am also founder of Delaware Events. We have almost 30,000 members worldwide this weekend. And I'm founder of mom-owned businesses, which is 105,000 members worldwide. And I do a lot. I market for a living. Marketing is what I do. I love it, and I'm all for the community. And just doing networking in a different way that typically people don't or are afraid to make things happen. That's about it.
And what is your connection? How did this come about?
She hit me up for marketing.
No, tell me I really met you.
Wait,
At
at Delaware City?
Oasis.
Oasis?
We walked in to have an event.
Oh yeah, that's right. I walked in to have an event. That's what it was. I walked in to have an event because I seen the spot actually. It was amazing. She has an amazing venue, only indoor venue from here. Only indoor pool and a venue from here to Dover, out in Delaware City
Donnie
called
used that for
Delaware
her
City.
Yes, that was my place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So dope.
Yeah.
Well, I know where I'm going next week.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's an amazing spot, indoor pool, amazing. What's the term for the kitchen? Is it?
Oh yes, I have a chef's kitchen.
Chef's kitchen.
Amazing commercial kitchen. Amazing space to fit 50 to about 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be doing a lot of networking events there, bringing traffic to the area, and hopefully bringing good traffic to Delaware City.
Yeah.
So, you said, I think off camera actually, that you had a role, and you don't have to be specific about it, but I guess I wanted to know, do you have any sort of connection to the Marley family at all that you can talk about?
Yeah, so during the first reggae festival, my cousin Cisco, my uncle David is Bob Marley's mother's brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Malcolms.
Yeah.
So I'm related on the other side where my aunt was married to my uncle David. So he was pivotal in bringing my parents here from Jamaica, and we stayed with them. So he was one of the first Jamaicans here in Wilmington, Delaware. And my parents came over, and including he sponsored Bob and his mother to come over, and that's how they got their start here in Delaware. That's portrayed in the movie.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of the Malcolms are my first cousins.
Got you.
So that's how I'm tied in with them. I grew up with a lot of them, and my cousin Cisco, who I'm very close with, which is his grandson, my uncle David's grandson. We went to the county, and I said, listen, I told him about my family tie with some of the Malcolms, and I said we would love to do something to honor them. So Matt Meyer did a proclamation for the Malcolm family.
Absolutely.
And gave them their own day, June 17th, in recognition of their contribution to music and Bob Marley's legacy here.
That's
Yep,
beautiful.
So we
I
were
mean,
really excited about that.
Do you, I don't know, so maybe then could you talk a little bit more about just the general connection? Like, I guess my question is, do you think that Delaware, and I guess more specifically Wilmington, like what kind of an impact do you think it had on Bob? That's a far out question. Like, you might not know at all, but I'm curious if you have any opinion on it.
I think it was it was the American dream. Bob came here, he came from Jamaica musically and came here, and I think at the time when he migrated here, it was like, okay, is this music career going to be for me? And then I think my Uncle David had him working at Chrysler and different things like that, and I think it just showed him that this is the path that I want to take musically. You know what I mean? This is not my life here to work at. And I think this the song he has is I think it's called, I forget what the song is, but it was about Chrysler, working on the forklift at Chrysler, and that wasn't what he wanted to do. So then he went and pursued his dreams. So I think when Stephen came here, I think Stephen talked about remembering his life here.
Yeah,
when his
I
mom
remember
and
him
dad
saying
worked
that.
together,
Yeah.
and walking the streets. I know Donnie had it set up where he was going to be like escorted by car and everything, and he said, "No, I want to walk." He wanted to walk through
but
the
let me
streets.
tell you, I saw that walk up. Now listen, I know he's a humble man,
Yes.
but the walk up was cold.
It was cold.
It was cold.
He had his
Boy,
posse
you
with him.
knew
He had his
the
crew with him,
royalty
right?
was in the building.
Yes, yes.
Like however, he might have been humble royalty, but I was
Right.
like, nah, that right there, boy,
Yes.
it was cold.
It was.
Yeah.
It was historical because when is that going to happen again? We
Right.
don't know.
Right.
Yeah, and I was so blessed to be like out here clickety click. It was
Right.
so cool.
Can you imagine
so.
looking out your window and Stephen Marley's walking up the street?
Yep,
Crazy.
Yep.
I just have to say, you said there was a song he wrote about working the forklift at Chrysler.
Yes.
If that ain't an artist to write a song about what you not about to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And then Delaware, so much of the family is still here.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the family is still here in Delaware, in Wilmington, Delaware, and
So
continuing Bob's legacy and stuff. Like, so,
Wow.
it's really an honor to really push this Caribbean initiative, not just the Bob Marley initiative, but for the entire West Indian community. That was our goal in mind for the whole West Indian community.
What, in your long-term vision for specifically?
literally about to ask.
Well, you hadn't finished.
No, you do it. I don't know why we so in sync. Usually, he
It's
be
the
on
Bob Marley vibe taking us all.
But love
No. So, no. What is your long-term vision for the Reggae in the Park series? Like, what is your like? I mean, yeah, I feel
To
like
see
20,000.
this,
Right.
37 years later, it's still here. That our
Word.
kids can carry it on.
Word.
That the Caribbean community is recognized in Delaware. And that
Because it's heavy.
it's heavy.
It's heavy. My
We're
best
here.
friend is from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes,
and
we're here. And that reggae music will be a dominant force here. And celebrated here within Delaware, not just in Wilmington, but Newcastle County and beyond.
Absolutely.
So we're excited about that. We want it to continue. We want it to grow. We've been contacted by other organizations to help them and continue the growth of it. So we're excited about that.
Love it.
I honestly, you're amazing.
Okay.
The two of you are amazing, and we talked off camera, and we just had a lot of good moments, and I'm just thankful that, as me and Jay, y'all know, we're 3 years strong in a 3-man team doing everything. And to know that there are people who are grassroots just like us, who are so successful and are pushing through, because I know there's been adversity.
A lot.
You didn't
a ton,
mention it, but
a
I
ton.
know you've been through it.
Yeah.
So to know that y'all have been as successful and are continuing to be successful is inspiring to us. So thank you. And for being community-based and independent and knowing what the community needs.
Yes.
You know, not doing it for you, but because you know this is what the community needs. That means a lot. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything you need to plug?
I just want to plug Mega Chin. Yeah, Mega Chin, our crew that was responsible for Reggae in the Park. I'm only as good as my team. And Mega Chin, Stephanie Kelly, Nicole Roden, Cisco Rivera, obviously Keenan, and Richard. Richard has been a gem, a new addition to our team. And then we brought Radio Shack on this year to help us with some promo. So thank you to them. It wouldn't have been possible without them.
Well, where can we find you?
We have a website, Reggae in the Park, Delaware. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, Delaware Elite Track Club. We have our own website for that. So everything's social media based, and we have websites.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it here first. We are excited, y'all. Listen, I'm about to go home, throw on some reggae real quick, get me a new outfit. Like, I'm ready for
We're ready
the
for next year,
one.
right?
Listen, I'm ready. I got outfits in my mind right now. So, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.